Can you hear me? There we go. All right. So here's the premise. I'm basically trying to rip out the bare minimum of WebSocket handling from Reverb and use that as my starting point for the WebSocket element of this labeler, because basically labelers have to be able to publish a list of labels, but also Bluesky listens and basically, oh, hold on, listens, connects to the WebSocket and listens for new labels to be emitted. So I have a basic idea of how that's going to work, but I need to have like sort of a very, very rudimentary WebSocket server running first. So that's where I'm started. It's just kind of like ripping this stuff out. What the heck? Oh, okay, cool. So let's see here. We've got where I stopped before I decided to start streaming is God, this is very distracting. The live preview on the YouTube Studio thing is like showing the very beginning of this stream. Hold on, let's see. Okay, there we go. Cool, cool. So where I stopped was there's basically like this connection class that's for the HTTP side, and then there's a connection class that's for the like WebSocket side. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out how this works. But you know what? I should just grab a copy of Reverb. Let's just get an open source Laravel Reverb. Let's just grab ourselves a copy of this so that we have the Reverb source code here rather than trying to grab it from like GitHub constantly. Right, so there's just like Reverb does a ton of stuff, and it's basically built to work with Laravel's broadcasting, and that's not exactly what I want. And I could probably just use Ratchet, but Ratchet hasn't been updated in a long time. So I thought, it'd be fun to kind of just like build like a MVP from scratch. So like in Reverb, there's the server. Right, so this is the HTTP server. Oh, I guess we need a quick composer install. This is the HTTP server. This starts the event loop and then starts listening for requests. Those come in from the React PHP server, and then there's like a router implementation that handles sort of the like negotiation of the request. Yeah, this is PHP Storm. So this handles negotiating the request and then finding the controller, and the controller is basically just like a callable function in this case. I haven't quite dug into this fully yet. So I have the basic server and router kind of copied over and just like very basic stuff ripped out of it. But I noticed that there's basically a connection object and an HTTP connection object, and so I'm pulling over this connection object when, let's see here, what is frame accept? Payload is going to be null or string. So essentially this can be data interface string or null. Those are the only things that the send method accepts. This handle the control frames, I simplified this, so those can just go away. On message, so we'll just say, let's make this fluent real quick. We'll do the same here. And here. Okay. With max, sure. I don't know if I'm actually going to do this, but. And then we've got closed connection. And this is going to be the same thing. It's going to be frame, interface, string, or null. All right, so. Okay. And then get this. I don't know if we need this. Does this get called anywhere? No. Just get rid of it for now. Maybe I'll regret that, but whatever. All right, so this is our like root connection. This is the like the connection object for the actual like web socket side. So this is like handling message buffering and data handling and stuff along those lines. And then let's see here. Here's the HTTP connection. So this is what in Reverb we've got this HTTP connection. And oh wait, no, the HTTP we have the server connection, which is gonna wrap the HTTP connection. So we've got this imported here, and so this is where I was getting a little bit mixed up because I imported these things with like kind of weird names. So let's see here. This constructs with the HTTP connection. Okay, so this this connection object is what we're looking at. This constructs with the HTTP connection. That's right. And then one of these things returns a connection. Oh wait, maybe this is fine now. HTTP connection, all that stuff. Oh, all this looks fine now. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. All right, so okay, so now let's go back to the server. So when the server gets a request, oh, this is in Reverb. When the server gets a request, excuse me. So when we set up our server, we're gonna get the React PHP socket. We're gonna get an instance of our router. Hey, yo, Ben. When we start, we got start and stop. That's okay. So on connection. So this is maybe where I was getting a little mixed up because there's just like these two different connection objects, and I was kind of mixing them up. So when a new connection comes in, so this is the connection at the like React socket level. we wrap that in an HTTP connection object, and then when that connection gets data, we pass it to handle request. And handle request basically says, okay, if our connection is connected, then we don't have to do anything else. Like now there's like a WebSocket connection, so we're good. If not, we try to create a request based on the message. And if we don't do that, then we just like return early. We weren't able to handle the request. Otherwise, we tell our connection is connected, and then we dispatch the request through the router. That all seems fine. Create request takes our connection, tries to create it from that connection, and if it fails for some reason, we throw some errors. So let's jump into request from. So request from all right. So we append the message to the connection. We check if the buffer size has been exceeded. Let's use string interpolation here. And then we're going to check, is it the end of message? If so, we clear the buffer. Okay. Oh, and that's just like if it's in, yeah. Okay. All right. All that seems fine. God, what was I? Maybe it's the router that has some. Yeah. Okay. All right. This is where it was. So the router basically gets an instance of this URL matcher. It sets up some like negotiation stuff, which is like handling WebSocket things for us. And when we dispatch a request on a connection, what happens is, okay, we get the URI of the request, we get the context, we tell the context, okay, the method is whatever, the host is whatever, and we try to find a route for that, which basically just matches the path against this route matcher thing. If so, that's going to return an array of like routing info. We're going to get the controller out of that, which is just like a special key in that route array. And if there's an upgrade header, which is like what tells the request that it's trying to upgrade to WebSocket, then we pass the request and the upgrade plus all the other data into our controller. If it's not, then we set up a bunch of parameters and we pass all of those to the controller. And then if we get a promise back, we're going to wait for the promise to resolve and then send it back and close it. Otherwise, we're just going to send it back and close it directly. Okay, that's fine. So this is just coming straight from what's it called? Reverb. I'm not going to worry too much about that yet. So attempt to upgrade is the one that is a little bit weird. So I have a labeler right now that basically looks at all the GitHub contributors to the Laravel framework and labels. Here's the question. It looks at all the contributors to Laravel. It then reads all of their profiles on GitHub and looks at all the, on the, like, the left side, there's that list of social links that comes back from the API as like structured data. So I look at all those social links and I see if any of those are Bluesky URLs. And if they are, it resolves the ID of that Bluesky profile and applies a Laravel contributor label to that profile. And eventually, I'd like to also do the DNS lookup. So, like, if you have a domain registered in your profile, it would look to see if there's like the @proto DNS record, but I haven't done that yet. And it works, but it's a little bit clunky to add more features to, because it's like, I don't know, when you're dealing with databases in JavaScript, I just feel like the tooling is not nearly as good as Laravel's tooling for stuff like that, and and also I'm just not as fast. So I was thinking it'd be neat to re-implement that in PHP in Laravel. So that's kind of where I am. And so, but before I can get there, I just need to get like a very basic WebSocket server running. So I'm just kind of like starting there for fun. So let me look at this attempt upgrade. So this gets a connection, which is the HTTP connection object in our code base. And it returns a reverb connection, which is just the plain connection object. So this gets, and this has to just return a new connection. And this accepts an HTTP connection. Okay, and we need to say this returns a connection. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so now basically we like do the upgrade handshake stuff, the WebSocket stuff. When we attempt an upgrade, we respond with that, and then we get ourselves a new connection object back from that. What is parameters used for? Arguments was arguments used for? Okay, so this is just like, I'm not going to worry a whole lot about any of this because it just feels like that's not what it's not the part of this that we're building right now. This is going to be fine. I'll figure this out later. Can I turn this into a, yeah. Just at least just clean some of this stuff up real quick. All right, this seems fine, or fine enough. All right. So now our server, all the pieces of our server are theoretically ready to go. What else do we need? I guess we just need to look at like how is this constructed? Like when is this constructed in our factory? All right. So I think I see. All right, so we're gonna need to figure out this router. Interesting. So what's this make pusher router? Pusher routes. Oh, interesting. So this is just like, this is just like using the underlying Symfony stuff. It makes me wonder, though, would it be easier to just use reverb, but just build our own server? Like, if we just gave it our own router, oof, that might save a lot of time. Interesting. All right, so here's what we'll do. Let's just, where are we? We're in, so, all right, I'm just gonna whip this real quick, and let's, I guess let's try installing reverb and see. See what happens. Oh, I'm in the fork. Oh, right. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Reverb. I actually don't even know that I need to do reverb install. Well, reverb install. Let's do it anyway. All right, so what did that do? That just, oops, just added the config. Okay, that's fine. So the question is, like, if I were to just like create a like command that's just like, no, let's just call it listen, whatever. And this make method, like, we just do this. All right. So this is just gonna be something like this. So our router's just gonna be a new router with a URL matcher, and this pusher routes. I'm gonna just like say, okay, whatever. We have routes. We're just gonna add this health check route, and it's literally just gonna do, because does this work? Or honestly, whatever, we'll just use the health check controller for right now. Okay, so now we have basic routes just with an up endpoint. So there's our router. What's this? Configure TLS. Configure TLS. Right, context local. Okay. Let's just pretend that that didn't exist. So we'll just hard code this right now to 127.0.0.1:8080. And our options will be this. Our loop will be that. And our server will be this. Does this have a default? No. Max request size is 10,000. Okay. Let's add names here. Okay. Okay. So I don't know. Here's our basic server, and then server start should start the event loop. Okay, so like theoretically, this gets us like a real basic server. So listen, what happens? I guess nothing, right? Um, okay, let me see. Can I get you guys? Oh shoot. Oop. Okay. What is going on here? All right, you guys get to see that for a second. All right, let's make this. So here's a thing. I can't connect this, right? And if I do 8080, this isn't just gonna connect, is it? Oops. All right. WebSocket. Yeah, I don't know. This hmm. I don't know how to get this going through herd, and I think if I just do a I think that if I do a non-secure connection, it's not gonna let me do it. Oops. Mm-mm. So let's stop listening. I don't know. It may ultimately be a lot easier to go down this path, but like I just don't know. Just don't know what I'm doing there. So I think we just keep on going down the path we were on before. Um, so let's see here. In our label server, what do we got? We're gonna have a provider, and here's the server thing. So we're gonna this app singleton. We're gonna make our server a singleton. All right. So we're just going to use the default loop. We have to shoot. I should have copy and pasted this stuff before, but this app singleton router. All right. Nope, nope, nope. We're making a new router. And then we need to set up our routes. And we'll add this for right now. This needs to go away eventually, but it's just something. Okay. And then This is gonna get the app. So now we can just say app make router. Where did options come from? What does this get called? Start server. I see. Interesting. Okay. What other things does this socket server accept? Context. I see. Interesting. All right, whatever. So we're just gonna say that this is the loop. We'll just let the context be. We're gonna, oops. We're gonna add our identifiers. We're gonna just set this to 10,000 again. And that means that this can just be 127.0.0.1 8080 for now, which means we can get all this stuff, and then we can inline that. I think that if you don't pass the loop, if the loop is null, then it just uses the default loop. Well, okay, that's fine. This is the React PHP event loop. Maybe at some point we'd want to support like adding our own custom event loop to this thing, so whatever. All right, so now we have a way to get our server out of the container and get our router out of the container. So now in this label server module, we'll make a command. This is going to be, I don't know, probably just listen again. So label server listen, maybe. That's fine for now. So we're going to say the server is app server class. Server is listen, right? Listen, start. Okay. So now we're back in our code base, which is neat because then on connection, we can just do something like dump new connection and dump. Data is data. All right. So now we should be able to run this. Oops. Oh, we get closes connections. Not found. Ah, shit. Right. Closes connections. Just a namespace thing that I screwed up. All right, what do we got now? Concerns. Okay, let's try again. Oh. Okay, so in this, wait, label new HTTP server. Oh. Oh, interesting. There's also this reverb. Okay. Okay, we're going to get rid of these references to reverb. We're going to get rid of that. We'll deal with the fallout of that, but I don't want to. Actually, let's just get rid of reverb from the code base altogether. All right. So we just won't have any routes right now. And this becomes the HTTP server, which should, oh no, this is just the server. Should exist. Okay. Hey, okay. So we've got a server listening. Yeah, I mean, let's see if anything happens before I worry about routes. Um, I mean, so the question is, can I connect to this server? Probably not. That is very annoying. So we need, does anybody know how to get heard to like do um uh do this like forwarding the SSL stuff for a WebSocket process. I'm trying to think like what's the, oh wait, oh no, this is connecting. I don't know, let's try. It keeps the history. Um, Clear this, close that, create a new connection. All clear. All right, so it's trying to connect to it. Is anything happening? We're not getting like, oh, look at that. New connection with some data. Hey! Oh, look at that. And does this has an upgrade? Look at that. Okay. And then this must be like um the upgraded like nonsense. So okay, so neat. I mean, so we have a WebSocket server that's doing something. Um, and we can talk to it a little bit. Okay. Neat, neat, neat. Okay, so um router dispatch. Okay, so this is where I'm gonna have to look. Okay, so this guy over here is the Bluesky labeler that I have right now. And this is this is a Skyware labeler, which under the hood uses this Fastify thing. Um, so these are the endpoints that it needs to support, and this is the WebSocket endpoint. All right, so first off, in our service provider, let's just like document. These are going to be the endpoints that we care about. So query labels, emit event. So this is the only one that's WebSocket. But it's also the only one when I'm looking at my event logs, this is the one that like actually seems to matter. So how does route collection work? Route collection, just takes routes. Let's see. Okay, that seems fine. So basically, if we just say like route equals new route, and this is going to be the Symfony routing route, probably. Um, hmm. Sure. All right. And this is going to take this endpoint as the path. And then what is this? This is defaults, requirements, options, hosts, schemes, methods, conditions. Where was that? Okay, so this just, so the next thing is just defaults. So we're just going to say controller is a function. We'll do this. And we're just going to dump function get args for now. And then I think we can not even have this routes add. And this is going to be subscribe label. All right, so theoretically, now this route is like registered. So like this is where my knowledge of how WebSockets work gets really questionable, because I'm like, do I just do this to connect to like a different? I'm not getting anything. Oh, I took out those other dump commands. Hmm. God, starting to wonder if Ratchet is just better, even though it's kind of dead. They're bringing it back. Let's see, how does this work? What's the hello world? So, message component interface on open. Okay. I mean, that does seem much simpler, doesn't it? Because realistically, all we need to do, let me think about this. Like for the WebSocket endpoint, all we need to do is anything can connect, and anything connect, and all we do is we just send new labels when they happen. Um, Hmm. Push integration. This does do routing. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know. This is just like, because I don't know that we necessarily, we only need to handle one WebSocket connection. So I'm just wondering, like, can we just only respond to that or only accept like upgrade requests on that um, one endpoint? Hmm. I don't know. We'll just keep on going down this path, even if it's a little confusing. So this is our path. Where'd this thing go? So that failed. If we connect, we send like a ping. No, now that's failing too. Are we running? Oh no. Okay, so we're not running anymore. Do I want to add? I think I add some logging back in here. So in our server, when we get data, I think we'll just go ahead and dump like URI and context. And then here we'll dump the route and see if we get to this point. So it's trying to connect. This is the one that's still open. All right, so we're not getting to that point. This should fail immediately when I do that. Okay. So we're not getting to the router. So we'll dump here. Handling message. Start again. Let's see. Are we getting? Yeah, we're back to here. Okay. So here's our I don't know what, our binary. Is my herd dump server not running? It's not listening. No, it is listening. Why is it not? Oh, whatever. So we're getting incoming messages. Let's dump the request to something weird is happening. Let's try again. Oh. Why are we not getting anything now? It's connecting. But we're no longer seeing a message. So that's odd. That should fail. Let's just clear this junk out. Create a brand new connection. Clear this and get ourselves a new server. And hit connect. Anything. Why would adding that new dump statement okay. So what's the connection interface? I mean, I don't know, like dump new connection. So now we're not even getting, oh. Now, for whatever reason, Herd decided, yeah, okay. Herd decided that it was gonna suddenly start picking things up. That's funny. Okay. So we've got ourselves like this duplex connection. And then we got ourselves this bonkers message that I assume is some sort of binary. I mean, it's clearly some binary data, but I don't know what to do with it. And create request is not working. So request from. This is parsing the request. So what the heck? Parsed request. Let's see. We'll clear this out and let's try to connect again. All right, so it's not it's not getting to the point where it's parsing the request. Interesting. Is end of message is just saying, does this contain? Does this contain an end of message? Which, and interestingly, is like the old school carriage return a new line sequence. I don't know where that came from, but so we're appending our message to the connection. We're checking if our buffer length is exceeded. You know, we're just buffering the data until we get to a new line, essentially. What's this do? So what if we just do, I mean, what if we just do this in our server for right now? Here's our message. Try dump. Parsed message is, yep, message. And we're just gonna enable to parse message, and this is gonna be get message. So let's just see, like, are these messages parsable by our application? Something got screwed up again. I'm just gonna do this. All right. Oh, nope. All right. So we're gonna listen, and then we're gonna try to connect. And now we're not getting anything again. What the heck is going on? Connecting to any of these live? Oh, heard. Thank you. Oh my God. Thank you, Matt. Ah! Why? I should, I don't know what I can do. Missing header delimiter. I know. It's nonstop. I forget every time. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, like, I don't know if this like bonkers message is just from this tester thing. Like, I don't know, WebSocket tester. There's another one, this PyHost one that I was looking at before. Like, what happens? Oops, if I go in here? Well, hypothetically, we should see. Yeah, I mean, it looks very similar, and it's the same missing header delimiter. This is same thing. Hmm. Oops. Yeah. Hmm. Like, I wonder if it's the HTTPS stuff, because this isn't listening on HTTPS. And I know Reverb automatically picks up HTTPS. I guess we can try just in our server saying, or we'll just try TLS : / I don't know. Let's see what that does. Oh, okay. Okay. That didn't immediately blow up. All right, now we're not getting anything. So we just didn't get a response back. All right. How do we do TLS? SSL. Okay. Most cases handled upstream. However, it can be useful for local development. If you're using Laravel herd secure site feature, run the secure command, you may use the herd or valet certificate generated for your site. To do so, set the reverb host environmental variable. Okay, so somehow reverb is finding somehow reverb host is is it's telling it configure TLS. Okay. Certificate resolve. Interesting. All right. Let's just steal this. Good old certificate. So what are we doing here? We're checking if it exists. We've got resolve. Give it a URL. We parse the host out. We look for it in each of those paths. Okay. The paths are going to be herd and then valet path. This is just looking. Okay, this seems fine. So, okay, so certificate resolve. So we add this stuff to the context somewhere. So that would be here. Oops, nope. Nope, nope, nope. We want our own certificate class. Host name. All right, I'm just gonna hard code this now, right now. This guy labeler.test. All right, so context is a thing. And then here, no, yeah, it's not here. Loop. Where did we, where was the context stuff getting added? Oh, it can take context as a second. Okay. So I don't know if this will work, but let's try it. It's just gonna, all right. I don't know. Let's see. Anything? Hmm. Hmm. Okay, so this is adding configure TLS. Oh, options TLS. Options TLS. Um, we'll just, for right now, see if we can get something working at least. Every time it doesn't just immediately crash when I start it, it's like a win, I think. All right, anything? Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Hmm. What happens if I just go to this endpoint? Empty response. And if I go... Hmm. All right, what else are we doing here? So we've got options. Options are coming from config. Config options. We don't still have that config file, do we? I don't think we do. No. Is there like a default? Let's see. What's the options array? Just options to. Okay, so that's the only thing that it's passing in. So we're basically doing the same thing. We're just and then what's it doing on host? Like if I tell it, I don't think this works, but let's see. Oops. See you later, Ben. Thanks for hanging out. Sky labeler.test. Is this going to work? I don't think that's going to work. Yeah. Yeah, it needs to have an IP address. So this start server. This is listening on o.o.o instead. Maybe, I don't think that matters, but we'll be as absolutely close as possible. And then this is okay. All right, we're back to like, at least it's not immediately dying. Let's try to connect. Do we have anything? We have nothing. It's WSS 8080. I think that if I try to do WS, it's just going to yell at me. Because, yeah, install the browser extension. Is there like a WebSocket, like a tool, socket debugger, WebSocket client? What's this thing? I don't know. Does the PHP Storm Like, does this do? Does this do like oops. I don't know. Let's ask. Let's ask through its built-in client. Okay. It claims you can. WebSocket. Examples. WebSocket requests. Hey, look at this. Holy shit. Okay. All right, simple send message right from the services tool window. Tools. Okay, the possible specify client message. Can do scripts. Very neat. Okay, but ultimately, for right now, what we're doing is 127.0.0.1 8080. Let's do unexpected EOF. Did we get anything here? No. Let's try doing it secure. Oh. I'm not seeing a dump, but look, it seems to be doing something. Huh. I mean, this. Oh. Nothing. Nothing here either. Interesting. But it looks like we're connected. It looks like we're connected. It's like it's active, right? Why are we not? Are we still dumping? Okay, let's clear out some of this junk that we don't need, but we don't need this guy. All right, but let me just try it non-TLS again. And then over here, just do non-secure WebSocket. Hey! Look at that. We got a request. We got a request. So here's our incoming message. You got some context. You got some path info. There we go. Look at us. All right, neat. Command F2. I don't think I want that. Neat. Okay, so we can, oh, hold on one sec. Okay. So we can talk to our server finally. Bam. Neat. All right, so the certificate thing maybe will be useful at some point. But what I really cared about was getting this. Okay, so then the next question is, does this work? Like do I still have this running? I do. So if I connect to this endpoint, does anything happen? In herd, do we get, yep, we got a route and our function got the request and it got the connection. We are in business. Ah, so cool. Okay. So this is going to be the request. This is the guzzle PSR request. And then this is going to be, damn it, this is going to be the connection. Let's say it's this, or I don't know. Connection. This is going to be, all right, we'll do it one more time. I'll close this out. We will start listening, and then we'll connect again. Connection is one of our request, or one of our connection objects. Little server connection. And this is a Gudzol PSR. Okay, neat. Okay. All right, so this is one of our connections, one of these guys. So I mean, I guess connection, send, hello world, and then connection, close. All right, you know what I'm gonna do? Because we have to do this so many times, let's create a run configuration for this. And it's going to be for the artisan script. And what is it? Label server listen default. And then wait, isn't there a way to tell it to isn't there a way to tell it in like file watchers? Isn't there a way to say like restart that process every time we change a file? I could have sworn there was. Um, I don't know. File Watcher plugin. No, that's not what I want. I'm going to look around for another minute here. File Watchers. This is going to... Well, whatever. At least I can just restart it real quick. Okay, so in our WebSocket service, like we should get a message back, right? Let's see. Hmm. I would have expected a hello world here. So connection on message. Kill this. All right, all right, all right, all right, I know. All right, we're not getting messages now. Hmm. All right, this is so promising because like if I can get this to send a message, then I can at least start testing the next part of this, which is can I format these like these binary string things the way that the other application does it. We're very close though. So on connection, all right, so let's get rid of some of these things that we are now kind of past. All right, we'll keep the route around in debugging for right now. Um, handling WebSocket request, otherwise handling HTTP request. All right, let's stop this server. Let's restart here. We'll connect again. What was see and heard? So it is handling the WebSocket request, which may mean that this controller it may mean that our listener here, that the is it in here? Or no, in here. That like maybe these things are not the types that I'm expecting them to be, perhaps. I don't know. So we'll restart this server, and then we'll restart this connection. Hello? Oh, God. No, just plain text, please. All right, what's going on? Maybe let's just go back to dump args. XRPD, subscribe label. All right, start our server, and then we will start this WebSocket. Oh. Okay, so we did get a request and we did get a connection. Hmm. All right. Let's go request. Nope. Let's just listen for. Let's just listen for all. All right, so we got a request and we got a connection. And then we're not getting a message. Like our on message function doesn't seem to be doing anything. All right. But we do have a connection. So, oops. In here, what is this? Operation ping message get opcode. Interesting. Oh, you know what? This open buffer is never called. Is open buffer? So on the pusher controller, interesting. It's calling connection open buffer. Where's pusher controller? Sockets. Connection touch. Huh. All right, so there's a little bit more happening in the reverb side. I guess we'll do connection open buffer. Connection on message. All right, we're just gonna kind of listen to everything here. See what happens. All right, so the route happened. Something about one of these though. It's like silently. It's silently gobbling up an error somewhere, as far as I can tell. Because this is this like in a oh and let's put that there. Maybe that's what it is. Hmm. It's not showing an error. Right here, I'm just gonna try catch throw e dump error calling controller. These are E and then throw E again. I have to stop this, start it up again, and Oh, here's an error. All right, connection max message size. Oh, that's stupid. All right. So max message size. Set that to 10,000 by default. And actually, we'll bring this into the constructor. And then here, don't we have this? No. Whatever. Should resolve that at least. Okay. So we are getting hit with something. This is valid JSON. We're not receiving the message. All right, but I am feeling hopeful that now now I should be able to say connection, send, hello world, and then connection, close. Do I get something? Come on. Oh, that's the on close. All right. So the connection is saying that it's closed. Why is it being closed? All right, where is this coming from? I guess I should just do this in the debugger, but event emitter trait. So it's getting data line 246. 246. Read listeners. Huh. Hmm. I mean, I don't know. Let's just make sure that it's not something weird like this, where it can't be a closure. It has to be a callable. That would be very surprising. But just to be safe. Let's do this through these setters too. Okay. Hmm. No. All right. I think I'm going to stop here for a while. Oops. Thank you to those who hung out. This has been fun. Until next